Hello, welcome back to Threefold Talk, the Aiel themed talk show with the Tokyo Wetlander. That's me, Rob. And say hello to all my wonderful co-hosts, Bain&Chiad, Roof Mistress Leigh-A, Melindhra, and of course, Tigraine. How are we doing, ladies?
Awesome.
Great.
Amazing.
Apparently, I'm not funny with my stabby talk backstage.
I just don't think you're equipped to define the word hilarious as a Wetlander.
Okay.
I'm really glad you said equipped to define hilarious and not equipped to something else. I'm really glad that that's how we started this show.
I was going to wait for you to take it there, Mel. That's your job.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that very much.
Melindhra in the house, folks. I love this.
That's right.
So how is everybody? Tigraine, we haven't seen you for a few weeks.
I know. I've been, training the spear, so I haven't been able to come and be on the show.
But you've joined us for the important week.
Yes, this is the most important week. So as long as I'm here for this, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Yeah. So shall we dive straight into that, folks? Or shall we tease it a little bit?
I think we should tease it a little bit.
Tease it a little bit.
Let them wait.
Yeah. yeah, they're already talking about it in chat, Mandub.
What else do we have to talk about?
I don't know. We're just going to sit here and shoot the shit for a little bit. Don't tease it. No, I'm joking.
I mean, talk is always appropriate, but I definitely would prefer some stabby talk.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Let's do it.
All right. Let's do it, folks. Yeah. Do I just load in the Daily Veil and Treasures for fun?
Let's go.
Let's do it. Let's do it, folks. Yeah.
Do it.
Spear brothers and sisters, it is time to cover up your face, for the wheel of time has news, and we shall dance the spear's roots. This is the Daily Veil.
I need to update that. I've got better logos to go in there now. But yes, cover up your face, folks. Foldies, because we are going for what can only be called the best cold open ever, and not just because it's in the snow, just because it is. I think this is the best one. I know I'm talking to a biased group here, but I think this is the best one of the season. Like, am I wrong there?
No, and Rubin said it in his behind the scenes. He said it was his favorite cold open of the season.
Yeah.
It is a literal fact. It is a fact that it is the best cold open of the season and maybe like ever in any TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard it talked about being called one of the best fight scenes, just full stop, that has been put on television or anywhere else. So I think that's pretty valid. So, well, we've got a treat for you though, folks, because we're not just going to talk about it and we're not just going to show it, but thanks to Tigraine, I'll let you decide which one. We got, not us specifically, Instagram got a sort of a stunt previs that was done for the scene. So I've put them together for you folks, and we're going to run through them and have a bit of fun. So let me bring it in. And it's probably just going to play straight off the bat. So yeah, Tigraine, I feel like you should be the one telling us about this. So
okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, so much pressure. All right.
Yeah. Well, when I say telling us about it, I mean like your thoughts about this.
Oh, okay.
So clearly you haven't been here because you've been filming this. So But yeah, what did you think about this opening?
I thought it was absolutely fabulous. I just loved all the fight choreography. I loved the emotion that Magdalena gives throughout each scene. It felt like the stakes for her were just so high. And you could feel this like sense of urgency. Like she can clearly handle herself and, kick everyone's butt, but you can tell she's like frantic too. Like, oh my God, I'm gonna have a baby any minute. So the acting for me really put it over the top and really made me emotional during this scene. It was very intense. I love it.
Yeah, and then you convinced her to join Twitter time. Is this correct?
Maybe it's correct.
Maybe it's correct.
Is it a secret?
Look, you call her by name because you're now BFFs, as Melindhra has quite rightly pointed out. You know,
Except for BBFs for some reason. I don't know what
we
BBFs
follow
do.
each other on Twitter. So
You were she was only following you. I don't know if it's still the case, but at one point her one person following was you.
Yeah.
that should be what it is though, right? I feel like all the actors
Totally.
that should be their first follow.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yes.
you're doing a shout out there for Bain&Chiad and Melindhra, by the way, the actresses for those people.
Yeah. Get ready.
Cannot wait for you. Please hit me up, Bain&Chiad.
I'm really excited for Aiel number 27 to be me. And I'm just going to really enjoy Matt, just like, I don't know. There's just going to be like a small snippet of a scene, right? With Matt being dragged into a tent by some unnamed Aiel. And we're all going to be like, that's me!
No. At first we're going to be like, oh, Matt's going to get some.
Mm-hmm. Definitely a 5.
I think you're going to get a longer part than that, Melindhra.
I think so. I don't know.
I think it'll be a whole thing.
I think so too.
Wow.
Rafe isn't going to let us down on this.
Yeah.
I mean, he does want to be a maiden. So I would think that he would include as many of us as possible in the show. Mm-hmm. Like, absolutely. Whatever season it is where they hit tier and then go to Ruidian and then cross the threefold land. Like, it's just going to be like the maiden season. And we're just going to be maidens everywhere. And I'm here for it. 100%.
Yeah.
It's going to be amazing.
I'm really hoping that ends up being like at the beginning of Wonder Woman, where it's just a constant training montage and Rand's walking through them just being badasses the whole time.
Yeah.
That would be pretty amazing.
That's amazing.
I feel like we've already seen that Rafe is going to treat us really well, because this scene was so amazing. Like, far and away, everybody's talking about it. And he invested in a special camera for it and everything. So he's going to be good to us, Aiel and maidens. I know it. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to, I forget the director's name now. Someone in chat help me out. But when...
Ciaran Donnelly?
Yes, there we go. When he was saying in the X-ray stuff, if you watch that, folks, when they were saying, like, this is the fight scene that we want to open with, he's like, I need a bolt. And like, what's a bolt? And it's basically a robotic arm that controls a camera, and it can move like 6 feet in half a second type thing. Like, this thing is wildly fast.
Wow.
And this is what gave us all of these epic. I'm just going to play this while we're talking. all these epic shots that you see. And then you put a phantom camera on it, which can just pick up like 1 million frames per second. That's an exaggeration, but you get where I'm going with that.
Yeah.
And it just allows you to get these slow motion, just beautiful shots. But yeah, I'm just gonna let this play because this is fun.
Yeah.
Has everybody seen the previs? Did everybody watch this?
Yes.
He mentioned too that the camera like will knock you out if you are in its way. So they're like the choreography around it has to be so precise to avoid just getting smashed by this camera. They cannot mess up like even a little bit. So that was amazing. Like amazing. Yeah.
I like this. Tim Althor in chat. Only a robot camera can keep up with Shaiel.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. I was like, you'd have to have a camera like that to be able to handle showing us the Aiel in any way. Otherwise, like it would just be like no one would see anything. It would just be a landscape, and then people would be like, "Why are we watching a landscape for 15 minutes?"
Yeah.
This is true. I love just, I want to pick up one of the changes that just happened here. So just this scene here. So if you watch the previs on the top right, folks, when they're throwing the axes, So she's actually running on rocks there.
I love that.
There are wires to the previs. And they've cut that out or trimmed it. And then she does this backflip thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I saw that, I was torn about whether or not they should have kept that in. I don't know what you think.
I love it. I think it's fantastic.
They should have kept the backflip.
Yeah, they should have kept it.
You don't think it's too crazy?
Not for Aiel.
No, absolutely not.
I do appreciate, like, there was a comment in, I forget the article that Rafe said that he wanted to make it seem like this was just a woman who had trained like her whole life to be like a super skilled person, not some sort of like magic thing. So I would suspect that would be why that backflip was maybe cut out because, you know, maybe we're pushing the bounds of disbelief that a fully 9-month pregnant woman could do a backflip. But, you know, I think it fits with the flow of everything else that she did, you know.
Well, it does. The choreography was so long and they, you know, had to reasonably trim it down. So once they saw what everything looked like, that's probably what got cut. But again, I'm still advocating for extended versions of all these episodes.
Yeah.
So put the backflip in the extended version. Please, Rafe, please.
Well, that's if they filmed it, because, you know, as we've just seen here in the bottom left, I'll just ping it back a little bit. So if you watch the actual showpiece here, she just sort of backs up. Now, that doesn't seem to be like on the end of a backflip in any way, shape, or form. So I don't think that they actually filmed the backflip after the previs.
I just have to say, like, the quality of her movements blow me away every time I watch them. You know, I mean, the Aiel talk about fighting as a dance, and they really turned it into a dance and not just like a little country line dance that you do in a whole group. Like, this is a whole beautiful
ballet. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she flows from one thing to the next, and it's all like so well executed, and everything is super believable. And I love that the focus is so much on her and not so much these like random bee people. Like, who cares about bees? I don't care about bees. Nobody knows anything about bees or how many bees there are on things or things like that. But it's stunning.
Yeah. I mean, I agree completely. I, you know, train in a performance art, and it is like her movements and her body control and her body awareness are just, you can tell she's very much an elite athlete at everything she does. There's even a point in the, how do you pronounce it? Previs, where like they show her flipping on wires. And let me tell you guys, like, wires only help you so much. They give you a little bit of height. They make sure you don't kill yourself, but actually executing the flip correctly is all on you. So I was so just impressed by everything, especially like without kind of the fancy camera work that we get in this thing, that we can really see it and see how well done it is.
Yeah, I agree. Dana's put a comment in chat. The pauses in the battle seem weird. Why will all of her opponents pause when she does? Anyone want to take that question?
I think, I mean, obviously they're trying to tell a story, and I think that there's a little bit of drama and stylization to this. I think that, I have seen some critiques that they're like, this isn't what would happen in a real fight, but it's like, that's Hollywood for you. Like, real fights are kind of ugly, and people make really weird faces and are like wrestling around. And so, it's going to always be a stylized version. I think there's a story they're trying to tell and a level of drama they're trying to get to that I think it's going to be a little bit choreographed and stylized.
Well, even if you watch a real life boxing or MMA or something like that fight, there are pauses, and even in the middle of that combat situation as you're reassessing the situation. And so it didn't seem like maybe they were a little bit more extended than we're used to. You can only imagine they've been at war for 3 years at this point, and the Illianers are definitely terrified of these Aiel, and they know her capability at this point. So I can imagine that those pauses would exist as they're trying to figure out how to best take her down and survive the situation.
The camera too is meant to have these slowed down moments, like kind of add a slow motion element to the fighting too. So like the pause may be exaggerated from the camera they used as well.
Yeah, I kind of took it as like a Matrixy type effect, not necessarily like part of the actual realism of the action of the fight, but more of an effect just to give the audience a bigger picture and a time for us to catch our breath, because I don't know if about the rest of you, but I was screaming the whole time when I watched this. Like, I watched this with my family and they're like, do we need to watch this again so we can actually see it? And I was like, yeah. And then we watched it again, and then we had to watch it again before we could continue on with the rest of the show. I mean, because it was just this flood of everything that Magdalena was giving to us, and the intensity of it, and how impressive the fighting was. Like, just all of that blew together and like caused my mind to literally explode. Like, I don't know if you saw my tweets that day, but they were just like gibberish of like, train of thoughts.
People they stopped breathing. They were screaming the whole time. And Rafe's comment on the X-ray was like, we need to just show that Rand's mom was a fucking beast. And I'm so glad
mission accomplished.
Yeah,
totally.
He did it. Yeah. So I think they were there for us. I think the pauses were there for us to be just like, okay.
Well, we've had it in chat. So Ben Butler said, as someone who spars occasionally against multiple opponents, pauses happen. Someone else said it was realistic since everyone was pausing to evaluate. Since in real physical combat, you don't just constantly attack.
Yep,
exactly. And then obviously we were saying that at the time, so they were like, never mind, you're saying that right now. It's at the end of the day, there were three of them. One of the biggest ones is where the camera sort of pans out. She's got the two. This is obviously the scene I put on the thumbnail for the stream tonight. But she's got the two spears out and she's just killed the third guy. I mean, for me, it makes sense. Like, there was three of them fighting this woman in no armor and so on and so forth. And she's killed one of them, turned around and been like, I've still got two spears, guys. I think I would pause that moment too, be like, okay, there was three of us. We just got our asses whooped. And one of us died. And so now there's just two of us. Like, are we doing this? I think it makes a lot of sense. So. I like Wolf Brother. Like, when the cold open finished, I was like, no, go back. I don't care about the rest of the story now. Show me more about it.
Same.
Hard same.
Yeah. I'm gonna. That's a poll in chat. 1 second. Let me go across here. I almost did a dusty poll there. I was to put like, who stopped and rewatched? Like, people can give their names. Yes, no, exactly. Did you stop watching the show and go back and rewatch the cold open? Yes, no. There we go. And I'm a yes on that. I immediately just skipped right back to the beginning and watched it all again. I'm like, I need to watch that all over again. There was too much going on there. So yeah. It's as MJ Daniel was just putting in chat, I can't wait to see the Aiel fight in a group. It's going to be amazing.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I don't know
That's
if we're
gonna
going to be able to handle it, you guys.
It's just going to be a massacre, like massive massacre.
And I'm like a little worried too, because this was so epic. Like, how are they going to top that? I just don't know. I feel like
You
they've
just
really set
multiply
the
it by
bar.
100 and it will just be that much more.
Yeah, I mean, they need 100 Magdalenas then, because I just feel like
Yeah.
who can top that?
Are we spoiler free right now?
I don't
I
know.
don't think
Let
we
me
ever
see.
are.
I don't even have a spoiler banner up.
We've been kind of talking a little bit spoilery, but before I say what I was going to say, I want to make sure.
There we go. Spoilers are now up. We are a spoiler stream right now, folks.
Okay.
So go for it.
So I was going to mention when they go to the Stone of Tyr and the Aiel battle the Trollocs, and they're like, dance with me, Shadow Man, dance with me, Fade. Like, there is no way. I don't think you have to worry at all. There's no way they are not going to make that so freaking badass. Like, just that line alone and them like taunting the Fade and like, oh, I think it's going to be another just crazy, incredible thing all over again.
Yeah.
What I really appreciated about this was the lack of chaos. How, so often like the battle scenes that we've seen maybe more recently and like they've taken this turn to be like super close-ups on people like getting their like faces smashed in and how it's just like they're trying to like evoke the sense of a real battle just being like a complete cacophony and like you can't really see what's happening. And this, like, there was so much of this that was so clear and so clearly executed and just like you could see the calculation in every movement. And I really appreciate that, like getting that focus.
It seemed to me that they were going off of, during each of the fights, that they're going off of, they're trying to give you a sense of perspective from the people going through it. So in the Two Rivers, it was chaos because those people had really never been in battle, but Tigraine is very controlled because she is in control of the situation. She has trained for so long, and that's what I thought was that it was just trying to represent who you're focused on. So she doesn't have fog of war. She's very clear about what she's doing.
That's a great call out, because when we saw Nynaeve in the scene where the camp got attacked by the dragon sworn, she was so confused and she was so overwhelmed, and it was so confusing to watch too. So I think you're dead on with that observation. It really does depend on who you're kind of following.
I love that.
Yeah,
it's a really good point. We're getting some comparisons in chat. So Hybrid Havoc is saying it was almost like a Bourne Identity style, which I think Bain&Chiad in chat now. I need to watch Bourne Identity.
I've seen it. The fighting is amazing. It's a great comparison.
Yeah, I think it really works, like, because that's very it's just very realistic in the fighting, and you would just use waves to hand and things like that. But this was like that, but dancing, which is so appropriate,
Yeah.
She's literally spinning around and flowing from one moment to the next, and it works really well. No, we do not know who is playing Avienda yet. The Twitter of Chaos had fun with that one actually today. I think it was Andrew from Black Tower who was just like, for the What-Bonds, which we'll talk about a bit later. He said, well, obviously I would pick Avienda, but you've not told us who's playing her yet. And they were like, oh, well, actually, oh, no, wait, you almost caught us there. We can't tell you. So there was a fun tweet about that. We don't know. But, we'll try and find out if we can, obviously.
Luckily, Avienda's journey is such that, it's not quite, there's a big portion of the books where she's not having a fight. So I hope for her they err on the side of just really great acting personally.
Yeah, she's not, she doesn't fight as much as everyone else. Like, she fights very rarely. I mean,
she gets sent to train with the wise ones, and she doesn't get to be a maiden in like the second book she's in.
Yeah.
This is true. Yeah, but she gets told off for fighting, so
Yeah, she gets in trouble.
Yep.
And we don't really see her, quote unquote, fighting at all, do we? I mean, I can't think of a time where like we've seen her
like
after a
someone?
fight and before a fight, and I feel like we see her fighting as a channeler, but not as a maiden.
Yeah,
I agree.
I feel like she might stab someone or threaten to stab someone with her knife at one point, but I'm not sure about that.
She's kind of one of those unknowns during the Battle of Tyr.
Yeah.
So they're not even really focused on any of the Aiel. You just see the Aiel running through the corridors, and then she goes straight to Viridian as soon as they go back to the portal stone back to the waste.
Yeah, you assume she's there, but you don't see her from anyone's perspective during that fight.
Right.
That's interesting.
Yeah, as I say, she fights off screen in Dragon Reborn and Shadow Rising.
Silvertooth said, "Doesn't she threaten to stab everyone?" Yes, that is true.
No, that's me.
Fair.
That's me.
That's all of us.
That's my co-host. All right. So speaking of stabs, we were trying to do this behind the scenes, but let's go through. I can probably let me see if I can load up the actual. I think I have just the actual video. I do, so I can stop doing that one. And then let me do this one instead. So I can actually just load up if my computer will play ball. Give me a second, folks.
Yeah, and while Rob's doing that, if you guys haven't yet, make sure to like and subscribe this to this video.
Good call. Good call.
All right. Oh, I forgot I had sound. I probably shouldn't play it with sound. That will definitely get me in trouble. So let's go through the scene here because this is going to get me in trouble, but not like the channel ban in trouble. Mostly just going to get me a copyright thing that doesn't do any harm. Let's pick our favorite stabs.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go through this and pick out our favorite stabs. I could have done this with the other video, but this is clearer, so because you can see everything. And while we're doing that, I'm going to end the poll that we did previously. And only 42% of folks actually went back and watched it again straight away, as opposed to watching it back later. So
that's an impressive amount of self-control, you guys. I don't know.
That is huge. So
I actually think it's a high percentage because I feel like you're just so excited for the rest of the episode, even though it was so epic.
So just stop me at any time if you see a stab and you're like, I want this. This is an epic stab.
I mean, it's
coming up. Yeah,
this one
is
great.
Stab right here.
Yeah,
right?
That's up there for me.
Okay,
so good.
So where is this on the stabby scale?
10 out of 10.
Well, you asked us to rank 1 through 5, and I put this as my number 4 out of 5, meaning this second best.
Second best. Okay.
I would be willing to concede that it is the best because it's pretty damn good.
I should be making notes about this, shouldn't I? Where's my notebook?
I
wanted us to rank these, and now I'm not being able to write it down.
Are we considering the cape grab part of the stab? Is that one continuous motion? Because I thought the entire sequence was pretty badass.
See, that's my problem is I like so much of the interweaving between the stabs. I mean, this is highly out of character, but I love that cape grab more than I like any of the other stabs.
It was great.
Because she does this whole little tourniquet thing while pulling on his cape and hashtag no tapes, Dana, you're right. It's just the best.
This is very stabby. As Susan says, it's the stab scale. And Dana says we have to consider the cape grab.
Yeah. I mean, for Aiel.
Yeah, I feel like it's all part of the continual motion of the stab.
Right.
Silvertooth knows that Shelly isn't here tonight.
Thank you, Shelly.
Full penetration to the face.
Yeah.
That is a 5 out of 5 penetration. 100.
There we go.
Absolutely.
All right. So are we ranking this as a 5?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to put it as a 5, and we'll just work through, and we'll see what else we get. So, the next one is it the throwing stab?
I believe so.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no!
It's the ab stab.
The ab stab.
But we get multiple ab stabs.
Yeah, we get a few ab stabs.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not going to worry about the ab stab. This one's
ab
probably the more basic
1.
of the ab stabs. This is ab stab number 1. All right.
I mean, she lands it very solidly, goes all the way through. Now, this is the one I really like.
Yes!
He uses to do a body block, so that's friendly fire stab right there.
I don't know how to rank this other than 5. All of them are 5s.
Yeah, they're all 5s to me. They're all 5s to me too. I don't know.
I love chat right now. Chat's having a lot of fun with this one. He self-stabbed, ab stab from below, 5 out of 5.
Yeah.
She finds squishy parts, you know.
Yeah. And she uses him as a human shield. Like, there's so much so squishy.
Okay, we might have to upgrade to like a 10 here. Do like a 1 to 10 scale as opposed to a 1 to 5 scale. So, am I sticking the previous one at a 10, and we'll just work our way around?
Takes the upper to 10.
Okay, let's change it to a 10. And so, what are we calling this one? Ab stab number 1.
Ab stab 1, I'd say, is maybe a 6 because it's just not quite as dramatic as some of the other ones, but it's still, higher than a 5.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we have to have. We're going to get one for every number eventually, so we're going to put this as a 6 to start with, and we'll see how we go. Is this including the backstab or the self? Wait. Should this be our number 1, the backstab, because it's just like you stabbed yourself in effect, or your co-mate stabbed you? That's how bad your stabbing was. You ended up stabbing your
friendly fire stab.
Friendly fire stab. Yeah, that's a 1 out of 10.
Yeah.
From the perspective of the Leigh-A, for sure, that's a 1.
All right, we'll call that. We'll see if we get a level 1 somewhere else, but we'll roll with that.
I have an idea for the 1.
And how do we feel about that? The throwing of the spear, does that count as a stab, ladies?
Yeah,
it's a ranged stab. Yeah,
it's a ranged stab.
Yeah,
and what does a ranged stab get?
Mm-hmm. Get a little D&D in here.
I give that one a 10. It takes aim.
That one's getting a 10. We already have a 10.
They're all 10s.
8 or 9. 8 or 9.
They're all perfect, and I love them.
I don't know how to do this.
Okay.
We got to throw that quite a distance after she's pulled it out of somebody and then immediately hurls it. So yeah, that's definitely.
I mean, that is an amazing yeet. Like, if you're gonna eat something, we didn't get a yeeted baby in this, so we got to eat it too.
Where's that meme from the what meme off challenge where someone's just like got that baby being yeeted and they just wrote Tigraine? Everyone just died about it because it was so funny.
That was probably child buyer.
Yeah, probably.
I think it was actually. Yeah,
sounds like very much like child buyer.
He loves that stuff.
Okay. And then we have let's go get our other 2 spears and these moments. Are those the 0 stabs or a 1 stab?
No, they're awesome. She's running and she flung aside flying projectiles with her spears. Yeah. Also a 10. I'm sorry, I'm failing at ranking this in any way other than all of them are 10s.
So would these be from the Ileana's perspective though? Because they're the ones attempting to stab her and they epically failed. So is that how we get the 1?
That's why I'm saying that, yeah. The Ileanas get a 0 out of 10 because
Yeah,
so,
that's
failed
fair.
stabs.
That's fair.
They probably should have hit the running person with at least one of those, right?
The axe throw stab, I'm gonna give that a 0. See, because I'm gonna cut these all down, folks. If you don't know what I'm doing, I'm gonna cut these all down, and I'm gonna make tiny little gifs of them. And next time we do our stab rankings, if fingers crossed we get, so I get enough time to do that before the next one, then we can be like, where does this come on the 1 to 10 scale? And we make a decision, and then boff, it pops up on screen for you folks. And I'll do some animating and stuff, So, and we'll upload them so you can use them on Twitter as well, So we are creating some community content here for you.
Matt Stagger said deflection +5.
Where's that? I must have missed that. Where? I'm totally looking for it. Who said this?
It's just like 5.
Oh, yeah.
5 up.
Deflection +5. Okay, yeah, there we go. I mean, yes, they did try. They did. Okay. So I need to be Johnny on the spot with the pausing here now. So tell me if you see one you want me to stop on, because these are all just like swipes and stuff, aren't they? So
yeah.
deflections and stuff.
Yeah.
I think we get an ab stab is the next one we get.
Yeah, I think
the slow ab stab. It's like
this one here. It goes like right there.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Like between the leather work.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. The slow mo.
Just what were
ab
these
stab.
guys thinking? You know, like what idiots.
Yeah, they should have been running away.
Yeah, why would they run toward her and not run away?
Okay, Norm has arrived in chat. Welcome, Norm. He's asking the question: is this badass because it's a maid in the spear doing it, or would it be just as awesome if it were a guy doing this? Ladies, I'm going to ask you that question.
I will just go ahead and put myself out on the line here and say, honestly, I do think it's badass that it's a maiden of the spear and that it's a woman, because women, you know, have certain, we don't have as much natural muscle, like we don't have as much size. And so when a woman is that much of an elite athlete, it is impressive because they're starting at a deficit. So yeah, it is freaking badass. It's also badass that she's 9 months pregnant. You
In
try
labor.
having a baby and doing this. So yeah, I think it's great. I love it, and I do think it makes it more badass. She's clearly being underestimated and just crushing it.
I thought that's where it would go, and I totally agree, to be honest.
Yep.
You know, go ahead, Bain&Chiad. Sorry.
No, you can go ahead.
I was just saying, from my perspective, I think it's just a beautifully choreographed fight, regardless of who's doing it. I think the fact that she's a woman and pregnant like adds an element, but it would still be just as compelling on screen, because it's just so well done, like all of it. I think we as women and we as spear maidens have that more integral connection to it, but I still think it's just gorgeous. It's just a gorgeous piece of art that we got given by this show.
Agree. And now we must salute Chief Foldy, Head Foldy in chat, Silvertooth, because he is giving me a better name for this stab. And Shelly, I wish you were here, because the name for this stab is slow penetration.
Mel, he's out for your job.
I know. I can just like take a week off, and Silvertooth can put on a shufa and rock it.
Okay, so where does slow penetration come on the scale here?
Can I answer Norm's question before we go on?
Oh, of course. Yeah,
sorry.
Sorry, Bain&Chiad, go for it.
So yeah, I agree with Mel. I think anyone of any gender would look badass doing this fight choreography because it's absolutely amazing and it was filmed very well. I think for me personally, as a woman, it is more meaningful for me to see a woman doing this on screen, and particularly in terms of the story, a very vulnerable pregnant woman, I think adds an element to it that makes the stakes higher, makes it feel more badass that she's doing what she's doing. But for me, whenever I see a woman fighting like this, or, you know, beating a lot of people up on a movie or a TV show, I actually get like emotional. I got emotional during female Ghostbusters, because for me, like, I was not, when I grew up, I did not see that in movies and TV ever. It was always the guys beating people up. And so I never even thought I could train or be strong or do anything like that. So it just means a lot for me as a woman personally. Yeah. So it's not like someone else wouldn't be just as badass. It's just, it means a lot for people who aren't always portrayed as badass.
Nice.
I love it. Yeah. Well said.
Indeed. Very much. I think ramen rattle.
Yeah.
Just for the whole lot of that.
Yeah.
Everything.
Cheers, B&C.
Yeah.
I have mine too. I forgot.
Yay! See, Mel has the knives. We have the ramen rattle. It's okay.
That's right.
All right. So, where does slow penetration? What number does it get on the scale?
10.
10.
Let's give this 5 because he did kind of walk onto the spear.
Okay, so this is getting a 5. So this
Any
is
objections?
Is slow penetration is ranked lower than the previous stab.
I would say this is better. So I would put it higher than the previous one. It's a little bit more dramatic.
So shall I give this a 6 and the previous one a 5?
I'd be fine with that.
Yeah. Okay.
It just looks so painful going in that slow. Like
It does, yeah. This is the joy of the Phantom camera, folks. It captures that many frames per second that you can slow it down and it still has all this glorious detail. And yes, as Matt Stagger has just put in chat, she looks him in the eyes as she hits his heart. Awesome. So yeah, very, very good. Okay. So there he goes. Yeah.
Wait, can we rewind and pause on that guy's face?
Why, do you think it was Steve or something?
Well, I've seen people say that they think it's Steve. And I just want to stare at his face for a little bit.
No.
I killed Steve.
I think Phil Snowden has blue eyes. That guy has brown eyes. That's not Steve.
Yeah. And also, judging by the previous video we watched to Phil Snowden, I don't really think that he's a stunt performer.
No,
I don't
not
know.
a stunt performer. Yeah.
No,
don't
most
know.
definitely not.
I've stared at Steve's face enough. I know who Steve is.
Oh, okay.
All right. Thank
Nice.
you. I was just hoping we could settle that question. Yeah.
Excellent. Oh yeah, question. How many guys does she kill in this scene?
I
What
think
numbers?
5.
7.
I
Five.
counted.
Is it 7?
It's
I counted. It was 5. So it's confusing because as they're moving the camera angles around a lot, it looks like they're coming, but she's like throwing them back. She's running around. It is 5.
I always thought 5, but I've heard people say 9, so I just wanted to ask that. I'm not even going to read that comment. I'm just putting it up screen for fun. We're just enjoying this moment now, aren't we? So, right, do those stabs get anything?
Femoral artery stab.
Yes.
No, 1 second. I've gone too far ahead now.
You missed that one.
There's a lot of stabs here in quick succession.
Yeah. So I'm going to pause it right there. I've got some blood splatter. That's nicely done. What is this? What is this? The slice stab, the side stab?
Femoral artery.
Femoral artery stab.
Yeah, that was a killing blow right there. So that guy's dead.
Okay. And what are we getting this? So
What's still available?
You have available 2, 3, 4, and then 7 and 8.
7?
7? Yeah. Any advances on 7? Okay. Lovely. Nice and easy.
And then
But then what about that one?
Yeah.
Oof.
See, that's my 8 right there.
Next stab.
Oh, and my favorite still hasn't even happened.
Yeah,
We might
my
need to
favorite hasn't
adjust.
happened either, to be honest.
This is really hard.
I think
We might just
everybody
have to
We-
weigh up all the
We
numbers
can always
down
cut
there.
some. We don't have to rank every single stab. We can cut some out, to be honest. So, but yeah, this.
Ooh,
I
that
just
was
love that
kind
move.
of a misstep.
That was a misstab. That was a misstab, actually.
That was a miss.
So let's put that down at the bottom because she was aiming for more than what she got.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So that is our new 0. What are we calling this? The lean back stab.
I mean, it could be the 2.
Yeah.
Okay. The
It
lean
doesn't
back
have
is the
to
2.
be a 0. It could
Okay.
be the
Yeah.
2.
Yeah. Okay. The lean back is the 2. Fair enough.
Because she does.
Because she still uses it.
She does
Yeah.
convert it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that one, that stab, that one.
Yeah.
See, this is hard because from the perspective of the Ilion.
I'm sorry. Can I just need to do this right now. And can we just look at Tigraine's face? She's there, just like, no, nope, nope.
I don't like it.
No.
So,
It's
but from the perspective of the Ilioner, it's a miss, right? But from Tigraine's perspective, and also Rand's, I mean, pretty good because he's not dead. So he missed the baby.
He missed the baby, but he definitely got the kidneys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is also a killing blow right there. She's not recovering from that.
I feel like we need to rank this stab.
Do we need to rank it?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a mean stab.
It is a mean stab. So I feel like Mel wants to put it on like an 8 or a 9, and I feel like Tigraine wants to give it like a -2.
It doesn't have to be like top tier.
Okay, well I can put it as a 3.
Recognition.
It's got to be below 5 because we don't like it because it's not in our favor, but it's still technically a good stab.
Well, we have a 3 available.
Yeah,
is this better than
look at YouTube?
What am I looking at YouTube for?
Mine says stream unavailable. I don't know if that's on anybody else.
Fuck.
Oh no! What
audio?
happened?
I haven't played any audio.
Bubble of Evil?
Yeah, people in the chat are saying that we've got audio.
Oh dear.
Oh no. Can you see us?
Tell us what is happening. What can you see? What can you hear?
Now, it didn't tell me this when I tested it.
It didn't tell you about sound?
No. Well, no, it said, because I wasn't playing sound, it was fine. Amazon stab 10 out of 10. That's what Zola said. I'll have to keep. I'm not playing it anymore.
Let Shaiel stab. Yes. I agree.
All right. We'll have to see if they let me back on.
Is it actually a policy violation, or is that just people saying that?
Oh, no, we're back up now. There we go.
Yay.
So, okay, folks. Maybe it's just... I've been very naughty. Clearly, I've played too much, and Amazon took it down for a while. So, So we're back. Sorry,
How
folks.
Did they know?
Really?
Automatic detection software. So, yeah. As Zul said in my YouTube mod channel, Amazon 10 out of 10 stab.
Good job, Amazon.
Way to go. Top
clearly,
tier.
They stabbed our live
the
stream.
video was too much, and so they took me down temporarily. So I hope that doesn't get me in serious trouble with YouTube, but never mind. It's too late now if it does. Never mind.
You've seen it. You can't erase it from your minds.
Okay, folks. Right. Well, we might not be able to do any more of the ranking of stabs because it's not going to let us. So,
well, we've given them a sneak peek as to our plans for all the stabs. So that will be to be continued.
They're all 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all 10 out of 10.
They're all 10 out of 10, but we had to rank them. So it's like 10.1, 10.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, there we go.
I will give you that, Roof Mistress. Well, thank you, because I was finding that very difficult.
Yeah.
If we're not doing the stabs, I'm going to drop off because I am about to die.
No worries.
All right.
You gotta rest up.
Thank you for joining us.
Much
Yeah.
Feel better.
Bye, Tig.
Bye.
Okay, so we'll just we'll talk about the rest of the week, and should we talk about maybe the rest of episode 7?
Did anything else happen in that episode?
I don't know. I kind of stopped watching after that. You know.
The rest is a big blur.
I'm loving chat at the moment. There's like I'm getting coal in an Amazon box.
As long as it's the Wheel of Time Amazon box, though.
Yeah. There we go. Coal in my Amazon package. Yes. Andrew said his favorite stab was Tam stabbing the snow instead of Tigraine. That was great.
Aww.
That was cool.
Good stab.
But yeah, no, I the rest of the episode, I loved that, to be honest. So I really enjoyed it. What was Leigh-A, what was your favorite bit? Apart from, we'll move across from the blood snow. What was your favorite part of the rest of the episode?
Kind of hard. I had can I say two? One was Machen Chen. So I really love the interpretation. Just like Mashadar, I was very curious about how they were going to depict it on screen. And I think the ways was really well done, slightly different from the books, but for well-known reasons. Like you can't just have a pitch black space. And then the voices, like it was, even though it was different than the books, I loved all the things that were being said to them. And there was just truly horrifying to watch. Like very well done horror. And then my other favorite, getting back to Blood Snow, was all of the background of Tam. So, Rand rescuing Tam after the Winter's Night attack. And so we got all that backstory of Tam's not Rand's father, and Min's viewing of Tam, and connecting all those dots together. So I was disappointed in episode 1 when they didn't show that, but I'm very happy they waited because it came together very nicely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Melindhra, what was your favorite part?
Okay. Other than Blood Snow? Okay. I skip. Come back to me. I need to think about it some more.
Bain&Chiad?
I liked meeting the Shinarans and Agilmar. I loved that he was wearing a full bird, like on his shoulders. I thought that was pretty badass. He looked super cool. Amalisa looked super cool. We saw Uno. That was really exciting. And at first I was a little bit skeptical of the change to his attitude with Moiraine. But after I rewatched it and thought about it a bit, I actually like that choice, and I like how it highlights the tension with the Aes Sedai, and that not all of the as Moiraine leaves the tower and she meets with other rulers, they're not all necessarily a big fan of the Aes Sedai. And I think the show clearly from episode I forget what the Soirain episode was. I think 6. They're clearly focusing a lot on the tower politics. So I think that was a cool choice. I thought he looked awesome, and I really enjoyed that whole scene.
Nice. Do you have one, Mel?
Okay, yeah. I thought about it. So I really appreciated the little glimpse into Lan's pre-life, with his like adopted family, and how they shared the story of how he escaped from Malkier, and that I love that Lan has people that love him for him, not for what he can do, and not for just because he's a badass, like that love him as a human, other than Nynaeve. That there are other people in Lan's life that we get to see and meet, and I think that gives him a thing that they're doing very successfully in the show is giving him more depth, and that gave him a lot more depth, and I appreciated that. Plus the rest of, since Shelley's not here, the rest of Lan's depth.
Yeah, we'll have to discuss that further when Shelley's here.
Yeah. We're saving the ab rock for when Wise One Shelley can join us again, folks.
All right. Well,
can't wait.
He does go much deeper into. We'll just leave it there.
Well, you need to fade to black on that moment, Mel Yuendo, because that's how we do it in the books. I don't know. I liked Uno, and then I was also a little bit just like, but he didn't swear very much. Like, he had one line. There's not a lot of swearing you can fit into one line, but this is Uno still.
But they fit it in,
They did. They put it in. And I think there'll be more.
Yeah, there definitely will be more. Oh, yeah. Oh, I know there'll definitely be more. Yeah, I've got no concerns about that at all. I just, Silvertooth. I'm not even sure I'm going to put that one on screen.
You're on fire tonight.
Can you see that, Mel? Let me bring it up.
You just put it on screen.
And Dana Lou, who does say the land 90 stab is 10 out of 10.
I resign my post. I resign.
Oh, that is that was great.
Clearly,
that was very, very
I
good.
have met my match.
Yeah. this is why he's head 40, you know.
Yeah.
Or you've just inspired people. That's all. Just
Yeah.
sharing the love.
There we go.
Silvuendo.
bringing out the best in all of you.
Yeah, well, or
Much
a few drinks
G,
since then.
much
So, you know.
G.
I love it. It's great. I'm trying to think what my favorite bit was now. It's a tough pick once you take out the blood snow scenes. I might have to say it's the scene with Min. The prophecies were really interesting, or the visions, to be specific. Sorry, like the baby. But I love when it starts and she's like the big brooding one, and Marie's like they're both big and they both brood. I was like, yeah. just the interaction, and she just kind of like stares and goes, the one on the left, you know. Even Min's like, yeah, okay, cool, you got me there. So.
Which one do you think Min was talking about first? Knowing Min.
Rand.
You think so?
Yeah.
I thought Perrin when she said it, just because he's so big. That's what made me think of it. And he's been broody for most of the season.
Yeah.
So,
but it would she would be like drawn immediately to Rand, right?
Yeah,
that's true.
Because she sees the three women.
If they're keeping up the love triangle, or whatever shape we're calling that, if they're keeping that up, hypothetically, if Min, although she did prophesize that he was going to fall in love with three women, or three women were going to fall in love with him. So So they did say that. So whether they keep it as her being one of them, I feel like that would be too big of a shift from the books if it's not. But
and I mean, she knew who he was as soon as she saw him, because
you
know, because that was one of her first visions, wasn't it? Seeing Tam and that. So there's important questions from Kari apparently in chat. Where's this? I must have missed this. Oh. Kari John, my daughter asked yesterday, where is Matt? Mel, what have you done with Matt? Where is Matt?
Yeah, I was holding a candle for him to still be in the show until that episode. I really wanted, I honestly really wanted him to dive through the gate at the last minute. I did not want, because I really disliked the idea of Matt's character as a character chickening out, you know, and that's kind of how it played out. And that's so not, to me, that's not Matt. Like, Matt will whine and drag his feet, but he will go every time, you know, and especially when his friends' lives are at stake, you know, and I realized there were extenuating circumstances that maybe created the scene that we got, but I really did not want it to play out the way that it did, unfortunately.
Yeah. Shall I talk about the preview for episode 8? Is anyone not wanting to talk about that?
I would like to not talk about it.
Same. I haven't watched it.
Yeah, and I haven't done this before. I've watched every other one, but I decided for the last episode I would.
I've only done it for the last 2.
Yeah.
By accident, because I've not realized what they are, and I've just clicked on them and been like, what on Prime dropped? And I've started watching. I'm like, oh well, too late now. I'm watching it, aren't I? So I'm like, I want to see it. As soon as I start watching, I'm like, well, I can't. It's like, you know, I'm addicted to it. So kudos to the rest of you for avoiding that. I will not say what I was going to say then.
Thank you. I appreciate you holding your tongue. And I'm also trying not to look at the chat.
Yeah, don't look at chat. Chat, no posting of that, please. You know. Okay. Is there anything else from the episode you want to bring up, or shall we just talk about the rest of the week in general? Because it's been a busy week for One on Prime.
What did you guys think about Lady Amalisa's just like casual channeling in front of Moraine? I thought that was really interesting, given what the books say about people who leave the tower after they haven't become an Aes Sedai. It was almost flaunty a little bit.
I totally didn't catch that. When did she channel?
So go ahead.
Yeah, man.
Moraine and Lady Amelisa were just walking down a hallway, and she just flung her hand and I think like lit some lamps or something. And you saw a weave come out of her hand.
Oh, I totally missed that.
I feel like they had a friendship that created that safe space for Amelise to be able to channel. So, and it's in the books, it's not that people who leave the tower because they can't pass the test that they're never allowed to channel again. They're just they can't say that they're Aes Sedai. They can still,
yeah.
And it's just such a small amount of the power that they're able to do. You know, maybe lighting a candle is the only thing that she can do.
Yeah. But yeah, the perspective I always had is that if you left the tower, you kept it on the DL. You didn't really put it out there that you were a channeler. But I thought that was an interesting tidbit to throw in.
Yeah, no, I think it was. I don't know. It kind of just showed to me that if you've passed your training, and then you put out the tower, you just don't make it the full sister. You can still channel. You've got that trust of being able to control yourself, and you know you can, if you've earned it, wear the ring. So, which she was wearing without the stone. So again, gave us a little bit of exposition of how the stones work and picking eyes and stuff. So yeah, I think that was just kind of saying like, you know, I'm tower trained, but I'm not an Aes Sedai. But interesting little tidbit they threw in there. So,
do you think, because in the books she didn't go to the tower at all, so do you think in the TV show version that she attempted to pass the test and failed, and that's why she was given the ring with no jewel in it? Or do you think they just said like, you're just not going to pass the test, here you go, here's your ring, see you later?
I think that's the accepted ring. I think the accepted ring is the ring without a jewel in it.
Yeah, I think that she wasn't strong enough to become an Aes Sedai. She trained as much as she could, got to accepted level. That's as high as she was ever going to get, and they said, "Thanks very much. Have a nice life," sort of thing. You know,
I like that.
Cool. That's kind of where it's an interesting piece. So, yeah, but it's been a busy week on Twitter, folks. I don't know about anybody else, but I mean, I added to myself by saying, hey, if you're new to Twitter time, say hello and introduce yourself. And that kept my phone busy for a full day. But then the Wheel of Time show account has been doing that as well. And we had What Family on yesterday. I was like, what day is it? Yesterday. And obviously, folks, this is part of my What Family right here, right now. So I love all these ladies. So and that was still going today. Some of those conversations. I don't know about anybody else.
Yeah. Yes.
Endless
notifications. Endless. But it's great. I love it because it just shows how many people have joined this rampaging group of insane fandom. But also still, like, you know, I think one of the things we were worried about before the show came out was trying to keep the spirit of Twitter of Time alive, you know, trying to keep that open, friendly, inclusive, diverse nature. And I, at least from my perspective, it feels like we've been able to sustain that and open the doors to more people. I don't know if anybody else has felt like there's been tendrils of book cloaks like penetrating too deeply into it, but I think in general it seems like we're still the same happy-go-lucky positive group that we've always been, and this little Watt family exercise kind of re-emphasized that for me.
Yeah, definitely. I saw some folks that were like, I'm scared to start a thread because I don't want to leave anybody out.
Yeah,
and I totally understand that.
Yeah.
You know, there's just so many people that you'll want to put in the thread that, yeah, you do feel bad if you miss someone. And I'm sure I was getting tagged multiple times and didn't notice it and didn't like the tweet or reply to the tweet or something like that. Because literally I would come to my phone after 10 minutes and it'd be like 60 messages or 60 notifications. I'm like, I can't look through that many. I was at work. I don't know about anybody else. I was on the evening shift and I'm like in the kitchen at work and I'm like, I can't keep looking at this. I need to put my phone down. So, and then today we had what bonds, and everyone had to pick a warder or to be someone's warder. Did everybody pick someone?
I did. I don't know if you two did. No.
Who did you pick, Bain&Chiad?
Well, I picked, so it was sort of two different things happened. I picked Egwene for Bain&Chiad as, they would be her warders instead of, that other guy. And then Sharnice, who we're definitely going to have on the show someday, who is half Maiden of the Spear, half Green Aja. She requested that Bain&Chiad also be her warders. So I guess now I am warders to Sharnice and Egwene.
So how would that? Obviously we have an example of that in the books. Like, how would you think that would work if two people were feeling the same emotions from a third person? And feeling each other's I'm imagining, that like infinite mirror situation, right. Like your emotions like continually reflecting against each other until you get like feedback in your brain. That's what I'm imagining.
Well, in the book, didn't they say regardless, there were these individual little bubbles or pockets? So I don't know that there would be a crossing of, unless there was a three-way all the way around, and then it would just be that constant reverberation back and forth.
What now, Leigh-A?
You're right. I actually don't remember what I said.
How do you imagine that works, Bain&Chiad?
I think unless you're bonding each other, like Pavara and Andril did, I don't think there would be anything like that going on. I think it would just be like having each person in your mind. So like if I'm Bain, I would have Chiad and Egwene and Sharnice in my mind. And, likewise for Chiad. And then, if Egwene, I don't know anyone. Did anyone in the books have two Aes Sedai? I don't think so. But Egwene
and kind of.
Well, but there,
I guess
the Ashaman did bond multiple Aes Sedai, but it was more like it was a male doing the warder bond to females, essentially. So it wasn't.
Because I don't know, like if I bonded if I bonded two people, would they be bonded to each other or just to me? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's one way. Like you're bonded, like the Greens, they're bonded. They've got multiple warders, but the warders aren't feeling each other's emotions. Mm-hmm. They're only feeling the Aes Sedai's.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. It's very confusing.
It really is.
This is Rob. You're muted.
Oh. You're still muted.
You're muted. You are still.
There we go. Right. Sorry about
that. Lip reading.
That was a great segue. Also, I do have toe this week because I didn't do the settings properly. We don't have closed captioning live. I do apologize, folks. I've noticed that as I've been screwing around trying to check if YouTube's going to kill me. So if you see me looking off the screen, it's because I'm like, are YouTube trying to shut me down? But yeah, my roommate's dog was like, oh, it's 3:10 in the morning. I need to go to the bathroom. So I had to let him outside because he was scrambling around the lounge being like, I need to go out. So, but that's a fun segue into my What Bonds because I actually picked my roommate and bestie, Kayla. You might have seen me tweeting out the picture of us at the premiere. We went together. She's an awesome human being, pretty incredible. And I reckon she's a badass in a fight. So,
yeah.
Not that she needs a water, but I would be her water. And then Maverick, who's around there somewhere doing his thing. You coming up here? You
keep saying that. But you keep saying she's a badass in a fight. So shouldn't she be your water?
This is Maverick. Oh, no, he doesn't like it. This is Maverick. Say, hey, buddy.
Oh,
I love him.
He's so cute.
Yep, he's been a pain and won't go to bed the last few nights about me for some reason. So yeah, he's hanging out with us tonight while we're streaming. So,
Love it.
but yeah, there we go, mate. Right, and so yeah, what are we going to get tomorrow? Before we talk about the parties on Thursday night, what do you reckon we might? Because we'll get something tomorrow, I think. So we've had family, we've had bonds, and I mean, I'm seeing like suggestions of pain and it hurts when I pee and chat and stuff like that. But I don't think that's going to be in chat. I don't think that's going to be the thing they're putting out. So yeah, I love this pup brother.
Aww.
That's great. I love that. So,
I don't know. A lot of people think that they're like preparing us for the worst by spreading all this love and camaraderie. And what does that mean is going to happen, in episode 8? But I don't know. So are they going to do another really positive thing tomorrow? Or are they going to like hit us with some pain so that we'll be ready for the episode? I don't know.
I don't know. Are we getting... this is a poll. Love or pain in tomorrow?
Merry Frenzy. Shit is going to get real. I love you, Merry Frenzy.
In tomorrow's what hashtag thing. And then I'm not going to do yes, no. I almost said it as yes, no. I'm going to change it so it says love or pain.
Can you put Beth's comment on the screen, Rob?
1 second. This one. Tomorrow's going to be who do you save if everyone else dies? The horror. Oh my God! Which one person do you save? If Twitter of Time burnt down, who would you save?
That's cold.
That's hard. Well, that's one of the reasons I didn't do the bond today. It's just because I was like, I don't know who.
Silver 2 says flowers and sunshine until Thursday night.
Yeah, probably.
And Gorilla of Time says hashtag bubbles of evil.
That would be kind of a fun one.
That could be interesting, yeah. So it could be very interesting. Joel says we're getting fuck, marry, kill. We're an expert at that here at Threefold Talk. We do that enough. So
yeah,
I don't know. Do you think Tweeter of Chaos would be up for that? I feel like Tweeter of Chaos is like
it's a little PG.
Yeah, maybe PG-13.
Yeah, it's very possible. It's very possible. So I don't know. And then Thursday, are we getting something pre-show on Thursday? Like a hashtag pre-show to warm us up? Because they've been dropping it at like 8 a.m. Pacific, haven't they?
Mm-hmm. So, probably be a lot of hype.
And I know they did this to try and include everyone in America, but also as many folks in my time zone onwards as possible, because it starts at 4 p.m. here, which means, it's not getting over till midnight until you get to like Korea. And then, so if you're up late in Australia, you're being caught there. Pretty much the only people missing out are people like you here in Hawaii, basically, unless you don't stay up late when you're in Australia and stuff like that. So they're trying to include a lot of us, but doing it that time means they can do something on Thursday as well. So.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Speaking of including, I noticed a lot of people feeling left out of the giveaway that Wheel of Time put out today, because it was only for U.S. residents, unfortunately, to be able to win that tumbler. And I recognize that there's like lots of rules about giveaways and drawings and stuff in the U.S., but come on, like I feel like for a global audience, and especially a global fandom, they have a little bit of toe. They have some toe.
I was disappointed in that.
Global
I was like, you can't even include Europe?
Yeah.
The first was held in Europe. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they literally flew like 5 people from America to live do the blue carpet. And then, in London. So yeah.
But I guess I should say that like I was never really annoyed that Prime Australia New Zealand New Zealand had all those cool prizes for their gather events that were only for people in their area. I mean, because they had some amazing prizes that I was coveting real hard, but I never felt left out about it. But then I have the privilege of being in the home country of who's producing the show. So I figured that like we would get access to other things at a different time.
I'll just start adding your local Amazon group, whatever we're calling them, and say we want giveaways also.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of people across all the countries will continue to support that, retweet and all that. So I'm sure we could, across Twitter Time family, get some motion for people who want their giveaways.
Yeah, this is true.
They did advertise like 4 giveaways, right? They had like a 1, 2,
Yes,
3,
there's going to
4.
be,
So
there's going to be one every day.
Maybe the other 3 will be more international.
Maybe.
Hope so.
That'd be cool.
What else could they give away? Are they just going to be giving away the stuff that they gave? So, because that tankard that they gave or put up for today was, I remember seeing like Critter and the Innkeeper and everyone else. They all got one of those as well.
What's going on?
I think.
Are we all getting like weird? Is YouTube trying to shut Mel down now?
I don't know.
That sounded like a
Emergency
tornado warning or something.
Yeah. It was apparently somebody is yeeting some kids and stealing them.
Oh, Amber Alert.
Yeah.
No bueno.
Yeah.
No bueno. What was I saying? Oh, the tankard. Yeah, that was like one of the things that Matt Hatch and Nameless and all that were getting. So, and now I'm thinking like, what else did they get? Are they going to give those things away? Like they got like a coat or a jacket or whatever, and other things like that. So, yeah, like there we go. Jacket, book. I love Rajesh. Emergency stab broadcast.
Yes,
I love
that's what it was. That's what it was. I get alerts anytime anyone has been stabbed. So I'm just collecting it from my mood board or my vision board, right? Isn't that what it is?
Vision board, yeah. There we go. So cool. And then obviously, just to round us out, they're changing up the watch party this week, aren't they? So the watch party is normally on Twitter on Friday nights, but obviously that's closing into Christmas. It's Christmas Eve. So the watch party actually happens Thursday night, folks, or Friday morning for some of us. And it is going to be in a Twitter space. And if you don't know what that is, think of it as like if you're on Discord, these are what they say it's a voice room in Discord or a voice channel in Discord where you would listen whilst other people can talk, and you might get permission to talk, you might not, type thing. And if you're not familiar with Discord, think of it like entering an online chat room where you hear people talking instead of seeing typed messages, and only certain people can talk and the rest of you have to listen. So that is happening at 9 p.m. Eastern on the 23rd. They've got some awesome people there, Nerdist and Maud, both awesome people, very, very big names. And I have it on reasonable authority. There's a few other names appearing there. So go check it out. I am going to be hanging out in that space. I'm going to stay up and hang out in that space, folks. So I hope that I can, see other names in chat as well. We can all be like, hey, I see you, things like that. So, but there is a Dusty Wheel after show. It might be happening at a slightly different time, but this is the official Twitter one done by the one on Prime. So, so they don't want to clash with Christmas Eve, I suppose. But I don't think there's anything else really. We're moving, aren't we, ladies? We've done our Tuesday stints. This is Thursday. I should probably say we're taking a week off, aren't we?
Yes.
Yes.
We will not be here next week.
Mm-hmm. You will not have us next week, folks. I said to the ladies, do you want to do something in between? And I was like, I'm more than happy to take a week off because it is the holidays, And what was it you said, Mel? Like you're at your in-laws and you're not sure they're ready for Nollyuendo. Something like that, wasn't it?
I'm not 100% sure that they could handle me in all my glory. They're not. Yeah. I mean, They know me pretty well by now, but yeah, that's a line I don't think I should cross.
Yeah. Yes, Rajesh, this is our last Tuesday show, folks. So yeah, we're taking the week off and we are going to be moving back to the Thursday night show. And our first one will be on January 6th, 2022. That's fun to say. How many shows have we done now? We must have done a fair number of shows by now.
That's a good question. I'd have to pull up our little spreadsheet. I could tell you.
That's a good point. Yeah, pull that up, Bain&Chiad. We keep a spreadsheet of our shows and see how many we've done. So who's watching right now?
I don't know.
I don't know. Someone's watching right now.
Apparently we ruined Joel's Christmas. I'm very sorry, Joel.
Sorry, Joel.
I'm sorry.
Joel,
I am working on a small little Christmas ditty that I hope to have out before the weekend, with time allowing. And if not, I will release it next Tuesday if I can't get it out before the weekend, so that you can enjoy and still have a little bit of threefold goodness. But yeah, we're gone for about 12 days. So yeah, you enjoy your week off, folks. Go spend it with family and things like that. And we'll see you back at our regular time slots of Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern, starting on January 6th.
And this is our 17th show. If we count What a Holiday, this is show number 17.
Oh, wow.
For threefold
17. Which means we've been doing this for 4 months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Maybe we'll do something special for the 20th episode or 25th. I don't know.
Is anyone a fan of Chicago, the musical?
Yes.
Yes, I like it.
You know what lucky number 17 is, right? The spread eagle.
Oh my God, yes.
We need to rename the show.
I feel like the Spread Eagles is like a warrior society, isn't it?
Oh my God.
I mean, that does very well with the stabby penetration, so.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that is kind of what Tigraine did when she just ripped her pants.
That's right.
Number 17, the spread eagle. Yeet the baby.
Eat the baby.
That is the one use for a cape. Not for wearing, for having babies on top of.
Babies.
It's true.
Yeah.
Totally.
There it is. There's the Melindhra. Okay. On that, folks. Bain&Chiad.
Like and subscribe.
Oh, yes, there, folks. I'm terrible for this. Thank you, my co-hosts, who are brilliant for telling me to remind you, folks. Please like and subscribe. Share this out so we can get more foldies in the family, and we can find other Melindhras out there.
Did you end that poll, Rob? The one about love or pain?
Oh, no, I did not.
We're just going to vote forever.
Oh, so I may not have written it Innkeeper style, but I was definitely going to be Innkeeper style and forget I'd done it. So I'm going to end that poll now. It's fallen on the side of pain, folks. It says 52% say pain. We're getting.
Those are my foldies. Yes.
Yeah. Silvertooth, I love this show. Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, hopefully I don't get in trouble with YouTube and I don't have to take this video down or something, because it's been a fun night. We've just kind of been shooting the shit a bit, haven't we? So, taking it pretty chill. We normally work out all the segments we're going to do, and we were just like, let's just talk about Blood Snow and then shoot shit. So it's been fun.
Yeah.
So we spent almost an hour on the Blood Snow.
We
And
did.
it would have gone longer if we hadn't been cut off. So
Yeah.
We kept going.
Yeah.
But anyway, folks, enjoy your holidays, whatever you're up to, wherever you're going, whatever you're doing. Stay safe, and we will see you in the new year on January 6th. So, bye.
Bye.
Water and shade.
Oh, shit. I didn't say that. Yeah.
you're a Wetlander, it's okay.
Mel, do you want to say it?
No.
I'm just going to play the video then. See you later, folks.
Bye.